Well, what a sight this is. The colour, the choreography, the camaraderie. The fans have pulled out all the stops to make this a monumental occasion. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. Things already rolling.
Well, if you're looking for a match winner, Peter, look no further.
Lionel Messi, the great genius himself. It felt almost unfair at times, didn't it, the way he just seemed to sweep the opposition aside. Even traditional... Oh, what has happened here? And he whips, gets his head on it! Oh, it's a fair try, but just off target.
Ibrahimovic certainly knows that he's missed a real chance there, but he can't dwell on that. He needs to pick himself up and move on.
Del Piero in acres of space out wide. Gullit. And Neymar. Great defending, strong and determined. Looking for options for movement. Zanetti. Cruyff. Maldini proves too strong. Vitinha. That's an excellent interception. Neymar. No outsmarting him this time. Now it's Messi. Roberto Carlos. And this is Cruyff. So, Jim, what have you made of what we've seen so far?
Well, I think both teams probably feel it's too early for either to start taking real risks. So they're still very much in a phase of testing the waters and sizing each other up.
Can he spark a counter here? And it's Roberto Carlos. Well, he's seen that early, used a certain sixth sense. And that is well cleared. Maldini gets a foot in here. He's a sharp little ball here. Well, that's beautifully weighted. He's found a way through. And this is... Goes for a shot! Ambitious, but just off target.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he tried one of his specials.
Gullit with his sights permanently trained on that bottom corner. Benfica have had plenty of possession, but few, if any, genuine chances. Cruyff. It's a really well-measured ball. Now it's Ibrahimovic. He's picked his way through. Goal kick. No, I stand corrected, it's a corner.
Size really matters, and it's time to make it matter now.
And it's been taken short. Manchester United are looking to go forward now. Del Piero, and he's found a way past. Shot could be on. Oh, important interception. Zanetti. And it's Gullit. And here's Ibrahimovic. Bonucci does well to get it back. That ball looks a good one. Maldini makes the interception. Gullit dominates aerially so often, and he's had it nicked away. Well, he's going to be disappointed with that. Cruyff, spread to the right. Can he get it through? Oh, that's wonderful alertness.
Well, yet another interception, and...
Oh, he's been caught napping! I think that's offside. Yes, it is. Gullit. Vieira. Gullit. This is a promising build-up. And here's Gullit. Roberto Carlos. Makaleli. Vitinha. Azar. Vitinha. And this is Azar. Pullet gets over and intercepts. Roberto Carlos. And it's Neymar. Pass is just off target. And it's Thuram. So still we are where we began. It's 0-0. Passing nice and neat. Oh, what a ball! Decent chance! Goal! Benfica! And Benfica take the lead.
Yeah, to see it unfold as succinctly as that, it looks telepathic.
So the first goal of the game.
Well, I think the next 5 to 10 minutes will call for real focus as the opposition will inevitably react.
Pullet. Great vision. And this is Ibrahimovic. And he's quick to get rid. Ibrahimovic showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but couldn't quite sort it out. Zanetti is in a really good position out wide. Benfica leading then, courtesy of the goal scored late in the first half here. 1-0 the score. And this is Ibrahimovic. It's Ibrahimovic! And it's in! A quite incredible spell. They are flying. Speed of thought, efficiency of movement, and certainty of outcome. That's the end of the first 45.
Well, I don't think most of us were expecting a second, Peter. It's become pretty much the ideal half.
That certainly seems to be the case.
Well, both half-time team talks will undergo change now. One will be solid, the other needs to be pretty inspiring.
Benfica looking composed, content, comfortable, leading 2-0 at half-time.
Está a acontecer uma substituição.
So we're underway for the second half. Solar. Oh, that's a key interception. Roberto Carlos. That's Vieira. Pass is coming off in quick succession here. Neymar.
Oh, really well played.
Makaleli. Platini. Now, what about a counter-attack? Platini powering forward here. No, again, there's no way through. Maldini. Platini. Now, that's well seen too. Beckenbauer. Just eases him off the ball. Messi. Pullet. Shifted it to the flank.
Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
Look at the space here. Can he finish? Fantastic from Beckenbauer. A finish of true class. Up by 3. They have their boots on the throats of their foes. A moment that needed composure, and he had plenty of it.
Well, that's great disguise he got on that finish too. Just toying with the defence, making them guess the wrong thing to do. Made him look a bit silly, Peter.
Está a proceder-se a uma substituição.
So here comes a substitution.
Well, he's going to inject a nice bit of pace into that front line, Peter, so I can see him making those runs in behind.
A case now of complete control. There's the shot! Relentless! Just relentless! They are gorging themselves here on a seriously gorgeous scoreline.
Oh, he did so well to hold his run and stay on side, Peter. That was really clever.
Benfica are having a ball here. Bullish header! Oh, terrific save.
Incredible. He had all the time in the world to pick his spot as well.
Maldini. Roberto Carlos is looking to influence the game from out wide.
That's good pressing. It's really squeezing everything.
Now that looks a decent ball. No, that's been intercepted. Beckenbauer. And it's Cruyff. Passing is crisp and sharp, and he's intervened well there. Vitinha, distributed tidily. Now it's Neymar. Roberto Carlos. Benfica, disappointing in the end there. They lack urgency. Messi providing an outlet on that flank. Oh, that's a fine interception. Beckenbauer. Cruyff. Ibrahimovic is onto this. And he's quick to snatch it back. Good running, strong and purposeful. That's a throw.
Substituição para o Benfica. Número 21. Ibrahimovic. Número 17.
Well, he had to make that, and he did make it. Beckenbauer, a probing pass, floated through, and he's picked it up out wide. Oh, sweet feet. Maldini, defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. Well timed, excellent interception. Well, there is a look that says it all. A piercing stare.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
And that is exemplary defending.
Well, what can you say about that? Just about everything was stacked against him, and he still came through.
Now it's Pelé. Lizarazu running with the ball. That's great defensive work. It doesn't take too much imagination to guess what would have happened otherwise.
Yeah, definitely not much wrong with what he tried, all things considered. The defence were just well prepared for what was coming.
Vieira, pass somewhat off target. And he's made sure that's not getting through. Hazard scooting forward. Lizarazu. Oh, that's well spotted. That's an imaginative pass. Quality ball. Beckenbauer. Can he get onto this? And that's it. So many thanks to Jim Beglin. That's all we have time for. Good evening to you. Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. So straight into the action.
Alessandro Costacurta, he doesn't have what you'd call a classic centre-back's physique, does he?
No, but his game is never really about athleticism, power and...
That's a foul, no two ways about it. Oh, no messing about, it is red. Well, Jim, I suppose that was the only possible outcome in the circumstances.
Yes, sadly he knew exactly what he was doing and he had to go with the risk.
Vieira. And this is Pirlo. Cross needs to be... Oh, good effort! Firm header, just off target.
And he did so well to get himself there. What a good effort.
Beckenbauer. Pirlo. And this is Ibrahimovic. Well seen, saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped.
Beckham, and he shoots! Ibrahimovic, now it's Cruyff. Knocks it into space. Nicely worked. And he's definitely onside. And that has been cleared. And it's Neymar. Oh, he had to make that, and he did make it. Beckham. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. Now it's Hullet. This is a chance for Borussia Dortmund to break. Decent chance! Goal! Borussia Dortmund! And it's Borussia Dortmund who take the lead.
Yeah, that's really well played, Peter. It's very, very simple. The ball through to him was just beautifully measured.
Benfica are already chasing the game. They didn't envisage that. Spread to the right. Oh, he's going to be pulled back for that one. Well, you might think he got off lightly. It is just a verbal warning.
Well, you either commit a foul and take one for the team, or just stand by and concede a potential goal. It's not a great choice, Peter, but I think I do the former in that position.
Well, this looks promising in terms of distance and angle.
Yeah, this could well be defining when you're looking back on events.
Tries a shot! Oh, good finish! A game of thrills, all square in the blinking of an eye!
Yeah, they say that fortune favours the brave, and we've just seen an example. This team has real personality and character.
Perfect placement, the one place the keeper couldn't reach.
That's expertly finished, and he's done that so often.
So they have it all to do again.
Well, they just couldn't have responded any better, Peter. Yeah, there's the old cliche about how teams can lose focus after scoring, but you still have to take your chances. Brilliant.
Neymar! Goal! Benfica! They've done it! It was coming! They have their reward!
Oh, he did so well to hold his run and stay on side, Peter. That was really clever.
Benfica leading now.
Yeah, it's all happening now. There's been an upping of the intention and urgency, a real step up in possession and purpose now.
Now it's Ibrahimovic, and there's green grass ahead of him. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. Beckham. Beckham was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Now there's a fine, and a shot! Oh, he hit that sweetly.
Well, that would have asked some awkward questions of the keeper had it stayed on target.
Cruyff to Maldini. Now he's off and running. Oh, Red, nice interception. Well, a glitch with the rangefinder there, and evident annoyance.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
And that interception was most necessary.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Lovely pass, but can he get there? Tries to play it through.
Pirlo really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
That's a risky ball, you've got to say. And this is Neymar. Well, that pass isn't the best. Benfica heading towards the half-time break. The wind very much in their sails. Beckenbauer cuts it out. Neymar. Gullit. He's come in hard. Gullit cuts a frustrated figure right now. He just cannot get away.
He needs a minder, and one of his teammates should be picking up on that, and quickly.
He leaps for it! And it's in! Once more they've done it! They just will not lie down!
Exactly what you want to see from your players. Courage. Fight in the face of adversity. You couldn't ask for much more.
The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Borussia Dortmund are such an adept counter-attacking team. They produced something out of nothing there. A few seconds was all it took for them to convert a defensive situation into a goal, and it's very impressive.
Impressive jump! Big moment! Massive goal! He watched it all the way, and the finish was unerring.
He did so well there, attacking the ball the way he did. He got a strong forehead behind that one.
So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop from here?
Well, it's great commitment on show here. They'll be hoping now that they can stay focused and disciplined enough to hold on to this.
Oh, good read.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Pinches it off him. The whistle's gone, and that's it for the first half. Reflections on the first half?
Well, I think we're seeing a very good example of what to do when you're a man light. Some of the covering play has been hugely impressive, and that owes a lot to focus and discipline, which have been top-notch, of course, since the sending off.
Benfica leading just about at the break. It's too close for comfort. It's 3-2.
Caros espectadores, está no ar do nosso sorteio. Por favor, estejam atentos ao número que tem nos vossos bilhetes.
And we get things going again. Bumps him off it and wins back the ball. He's a sharp little ball here, and he's picked it up out wide.
Well, it's a move of great promise, but will it really prove productive?
Oh, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. Beckham unable to make it happen for all his good intentions. And this is Gullit getting up there! And he hits the net! It's level again! What a match we have!
Yeah, and it's very much deserved in the circumstances. In these games, it's so tempting to maybe get a little sorry for yourselves, but there's none of that.
It was wonderfully efficient.
So well played, Peter. Did a great job keeping sight of the ball, made a classic move and met it perfectly.
And that means just one thing, match ball.
He has simply been truly awesome. He really has stamped his authority on this.
And the shot! It's in!
Well, whenever he reminds us of his wondrous skill set, it's usually something very memorable or even unforgettable. We'll certainly remember that one.
Unstoppable. Just how do they contain him?
Well, at one stage he was being body-checked, Peter, and then the next minute it's in the back of the net. That's wonderful striking.
Clinical, just clinical. What a game this is turning out to be for him.
This is such a dominant performance. The defence are sick of the sight of him, but he doesn't look finished just yet.
Substituição para o Benfica. Número 13.
So we have movement on both benches.
Número 17.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for.
Neymar.
Well, it's great commitment on show here. They'll be hoping now that they can stay focused and disciplined enough to hold on to this.
Sidorf.
If they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
Now it's Pele.
Hazard.
And that's been intercepted.
That's great positioning, so good from him. Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
This is a promising build-up. Pele will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Desai. And here's Hazard. Space for him to turn and look. It's a sweeping cross.
Está a proceder-se a uma substituição.
Benfica with the corner, they're first. Ronaldinho plays it short. He has found the way through, and this is Ronaldinho. It's their second corner of the game. That's a lovely, neat pass. And now they can spring out of defence. Not the most accurate pass. Well, that looks a decent ball. And he was alert to it.
Borussia Dortmund really are going about things in the right fashion, Peter. It's great to see.
This is a really front-footed approach.
You know, the interest value in this game might just take off from here. They need to play this quicker in transitions like this.
Check claims comfortable. This ended up in no man's land. Played back into the centre. Almost 75 minutes on the clock now. Benfica still have the cards to affect this game.
Whatever happens, that's the kind of movement which raises hope.
Gets his head on it! Well, now it's a race for the ball. And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
Ibrahimovic actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
Pass somewhat off target.
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
Neither of these two want to come off second best. Desai did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. He's picked his way through. Just not quite happening for him just now.
Well, the breakthrough hasn't come yet, Peter, but you do feel they're upping the ante here. They'll get the reward if they can stick at this.
Vamos provocar uma substituição.
Look at the... He's had a shot! It's loose now and they want to get it back. And the difference is still one, but only just.
Hunis was already celebrating in his head and probably still can't process how the keeper denied him. What a stop.
And he's quick to get rid. Well seen, saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped.
And this is Ibrahimovic. Can he finish? It's anyone. That's another chance.
Borussia Dortmund really can only do one thing now, Peter. Get the ball up front, make sure it sticks, and sustain some pressure. Well, they shouldn't be dawdling at this stage. They need to get the ball in the mixer and quickly.
And that interception was most necessary.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
That is good strength. Shot could be chance! And that's a sharp finish. And right near the end, we have parity. Piercing. Piercing, and with pinpoint accuracy, he forces it through.
Well, I'm sat here, Peter, thinking that the keeper might have done a little better then. Maybe his positioning wasn't great, but then again, I don't think he had a wonderful view of it.
Back to parity, and there's barely any time left.
Credit where it's due. This is great attitude. Now, the only question is whether there's enough in the tank to grab another.
Foul and a free kick in a very dangerous area. Yellow or red? It is red. Well, Jim, there's only one reason that he would be sent off there. It is the denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity.
Well, I suppose the other choice, Peter, would have been to let your opponent score, so he had no other option. That's just playing it safe and simple.
They'll have one final crack at it. Zanetti delivers. Tries to get it clear. And that will be the final act. What a game. A contest of ferocity and marvellous talent from start to finish. Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. And we're underway. Martin Caceres, Jim. Precious little doubt about what his outstanding qualities are.
Aggression and tenacity, Peter, but there is another side to his game as well. He's got a certain confidence on the ball and he can pick a really telling pass too. That's vital if you're looking to play a patient, possession-based game.
That could spell trouble. Pele! No, that wasn't kidding anyone.
Well, he was sure he was going to pull that off.
Caceres. Hops for safety. And it's Thuram. Zanetti. Well, now here's a good battle, bicep to bicep. Zanetti delivers. Vieira. Oh, that's fabulous. Maldini, defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Makaleli.
They'll want to make the most of this turnover.
That's beautifully weighted. And it's Messi. Passing is crisp and sharp. Benfica yet to have an attempt on goal. He's had it taken off him. Now that looks a decent ball. Has a look and plays it forward. Yeah, that does look a foul. Referee's given a free kick. Thuram. And here's Ibrahimovic. Looking for the run. Oh, that was vital. Gullit chasing after it. Nedved can so cleverly bypass the press. Makaleli. Gullit. Now Neymar. Neymar making good progress. Caceres. Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped. They want to be quick here, it's breakaway time.
He is through here! Messi driving forwards. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Cruyff. Well read, and the danger is averted.
Cruyff clearly held on to it far too long there. Did he do enough to find someone? He looked as if he had his mind set on trying to do everything his way.
Makaleli making good progress on the right-hand side. Ah, that's a fine interception. Gullit pinches it off him. Nedved going face-to-face with his great rival. Cruyff. Now it's Ibrahimovic. Makaleli. And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Pelé chips it through, brilliantly cut out. Still looking for the first breakthrough, and it is nearly half-time now. In with the challenge. Vieira. Some good work on the right flank here. Nedved. Header! And he's done it! And Kashima Antlers take the lead. One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
Substituição para o Benfica. Número 19. Cáceres.
Time then for the first substitution of the game.
Yeah, they're looking for some imagination, and his job's going to be to add that element of craft and guile, the man pulling the strings.
Kashima Antlers have penetrated for the first time.
Yeah, but I think they all know too well that things are far from done here, and while there's never a good time to be caught out, you definitely don't want it to be now. Well, look, they know they've got a height advantage, and it's time for them to use it.
Goes to finish! And that's in! They're level in a trice!
Yeah, since going a goal down, they've dug in to produce a really fine spell, which for me deserved that equaliser.
That was fabulous, the most adept of touches, the smoothest of finishes.
Well, I think he knew all he had to do was get it under control, and it was always going to end up in the back of the net thereafter.
Benfica restore parity.
Well, I'd happily watch this every week, Peter. This is exactly what you want from a big game.
Nice looking ball. Couldn't squeeze it through. And the referee has blown for half-time. Nothing to separate the two teams at half-time. They've both given it a really good go, and they head into the break all square. Any opinion you'd like to express on the first half?
Benfica will be pretty happy with the way they've performed so far. They remained calm after going behind, and they were able to raise the intensity, get their equaliser. So this isn't bad at all.
Well, they've gone toe-to-toe for those 45 minutes, and at half-time the score is 1-1. And if you have just joined us, well, we've just begun the second period here. Benfica come out of the tunnel having undergone a change at half-time.
Well, we're certainly going to see a change in personnel. We'll see if the system changes with it.
Hazard scooting forward. Hazard running at top gear. He's got away. He leaps for it. Goal!
Boom! There we go. And it couldn't be much better. He was born for the glory he's just managed. The apple on top of the tree.
It was wonderfully efficient.
He did so well there, attacking the ball the way he did. He got a strong forehead behind that one.
And in a trice, the substitute has scored already.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
Kashima Antlers have their lead. And this is Nedved. Can he get on the end of this? And he's managed to get free. And that has earned a reprieve for the time being. And the pass is intercepted. Rijkaard did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. Pullet. Roberto Carlos being hunted in packs.
Yeah, and what they've got to realise, Peter, is that they won't get away with excessive force for long, so they're running a fine line now.
60 minutes played. Good ball over the top. And this is Hazard. Maldini. Benfica are, of course, in a position to go to the bench should the need arise. And that's been intercepted.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
And it's Ibrahimovic. Can he get it through? Well, he's seen that early, used a certain sixth sense.
That's exactly what they need to keep doing. Carry on plugging away and eventually...
And a chance! Now, who's going to be first to this? Now, that is commitment to the cause.
Substituição para o Benfica.
Benfica have their second corner now.
Número 17. Neymar. Número 11.
Roberto Carlos plays it short.
Ibrahimovic.
And now a sudden chance to counter. And the through ball. Now it's Seedorf. And he is deftly away. Good claim. No margin for error there. That is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. And the shot! It's a goal! What an incredible feat! A legendary feat! 200 wasn't enough, nor 300. Now he hits 400. There was no getting to that. No getting to it at all. Expertly done.
Well, Peter, I think the keeper knew straight away he was never going to get to it.
It is compelling, this. Utterly compelling.
This is exactly the kind of contest you'd expect when you have so much class from both sides. The next goal is going to be so significant.
Platini finds himself offside. Benfica have reclaimed it. He's under a lot of pressure there. Beckenbauer, nicely spread.
Benfica really can't be faulted for their attitude, and if they go on to win this, it'll be fully deserved. Well, Peter, when you're up against a speedster, you've got to get to him early and not let him get into his stride, and they're just not doing that.
Seedorf. Beckenbauer is always looking to break lines. This is intriguing. Next goal critical.
Well, a goal either way at this stage would qualify as a steal.
Not the most convincing of passes. Rijkaard. Beckenbauer. But it's Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. And here's Ronaldinho.
Well, that might be that, Peter. Maybe both sides just going to have to settle for the draw now.
Shoots! And he was there to get a vital touch.
Hazard is offering a right smile there.
The message is simple: defend this with your lives. Hazard with the short one. Cruyff having a shot! That's a lovely, neat pass. Benfica are looking to go forward now. And he's had it nicked away. Rummenigge. And here's Cruyff. That's very neat. Oh, it's beyond the defence. No foul, says the referee. Yeah, he's pulled him up for that challenge. Rijkaard. Great vision. He's in plenty of space here. He's found the way through. Oh, that's neat. And he was alert to it. Beckenbauer. That's at the end. Well, nothing to separate the sides in the end, not for the want of desire, drive or determination. No complaints. How would you summarise what we've seen today then, Jim?
Yeah, this looked the most likely outcome, but we've had a good variety.